Today, I'm here with the top 10 tips for new players in State of Survival. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and today I'm here with T McVenom from Reality Skewed Gamers, and she's going to be bringing me 10 of her pro tips for State of Survival. I'm new in the game. I could use some help, although I know a little bit about what I'm doing. She's here to help me and help you in case you're new to the game. T McV, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Echo. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm really excited to have you on here because I've been addicted to this game, and I know there's stuff that I'm missing. The game has a lot of depth, there's a lot to it, so I'm here to ask you for help. That's basically what this is all about, and I know from watching some of the content on your channel that you have the knowledge to help me and everyone else that's watching this video. So why don't we just jump into the first tip?
Sure. And thank you for having me, by the way. I'm super excited. I love your content, and I'm happy to help in any way I can.
Thank you.
So my first number one tip is basically know your play style. So a lot of people jump into the game and they don't know whether they're going to be a spender or a free-to-play player, and don't know where to focus a lot of their resources and their attention to. And that is probably my number one tip for anybody that's coming into the game. It's just know how you're going to play, because you can set your expectations and really get the most enjoyment out of the game that way. If you go in trying to compete with high spenders and you just aren't able to do that, it can take and suck some of the fun out of it. So if you go in with an expectation of, okay, I'm going to be a free-to-play player, or I'm going to be a dolphin, and this is where I'm going to focus at, you can really hyper-focus into the items and the events that are perfect for you and will give you the most enjoyment out of it.
That's a great tip. And like a lot of people on my channel know I come from Rise of Kingdoms, and it's very similar. You know, in these games, if you're spending money, you're going to be stronger than the people that aren't. And if you're someone that's not, if you're free to play and you're trying to compete with those big guys, like you said, it's going to be devastating. It's going to push you away from the game. So that's a great tip to start.
Yeah, I mean, I had to settle in a couple different games where I was free to play in some games, and then I was a high spender in other games, and it's a completely different play style. It's just completely different, and your expectations are different, and your enjoyment is different when you know that going into it. So yeah, that's my number one tip right off the bat. Yep,
you can't be a big spender in every game, and some people, they don't want to spend in any game. So great first tip.
Yeah.
All right, Venom, give us tip number 2.
So tip number 2 would be to read and study everything. This game is full of information, but they're sometimes hidden in little icons, little question marks, you have to go into an event and then find the question mark with more information icon. If you would click into that, you're going to find a wealth of information. But most importantly is going to be the troop descriptions, like what each tier of troop is for, your hero stats. Read those and study those, because each hero gives a different stat and is different for different situations. So some are more appropriate for traps, some are more appropriate for PvP. And you really have to read and pore through those descriptions and stats information to discern what's best for what. So especially like for alliance buildings, I mean, I had a guy in my alliance today, and it was like, I'm going to go attack this tower. And I'm like, oh no, baby, what are you doing? That defense is so stacked in a tower. You have to read, like click on the towers and read the descriptions for the benefits for them. Just doing that bit of research is going to give you so much of a head start than other players that just go in willy-nilly throwing things at whatever without knowing what they're doing. So read everything.
So you're telling us we have to study to play a video game?
I totally am.
It sounds so fun.
Tip number 3 is join a good alliance. And this is standard across most games that you play like this, but joining a good alliance is so key. The bigger and the more experienced alliance, the better. You get better alliance tech. You get crates from people that are spending. If you're not a spender, you can join as a free-to-play player, and you get special crates for that. All the infected rallies, you get crates for those things. Like I said, the tech is better. You have more activity. Just getting those help button pushes from your active players is a huge buff for your construction and your training. You're healing. If you're in a big, huge battle, you want to heal and you need those button pushes to help heal. But just, I think the main thing is the experience, you being able to ask and have people that can guide you through it, especially if you're a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of a discrepancy about whether or not I should join a top alliance versus a mid-level alliance, because I'm kind of on that fence about, I think getting attacked a lot makes me a stronger player. And a lot of the top alliances don't get attacked as much.
Mm-hmm.
But anywhere in the top 10, if you can stay in the top 10 range of alliances, that's going to just all around give you a better head start.
Yes, it totally will. It totally will. And like you said, that's with a bunch of games. But the problem for brand new players, especially if they're free to play, is how do they get themselves accepted? I mean, and I may be jumping the line for your tips, I don't know. But how does someone like that's new, that's been playing for 2 weeks, that's free to play, has a couple of million power, how do they get into those alliances? Or do they have to kind of go through the steps and work their way up?
So that actually leads into my next tip, Eka.
Look at that.
Well, my next tip would be to engage and ask questions. So if you're going and you're trying to find an alliance, engaging and asking questions and being talkative in your state chat, you're going to have leaders that see that and see someone that's asking questions. Number one is wanting to learn. They're going to be active. They're going to be chatty. These are things that leaders look for in a player, not so much straight battle power, or it's what I look for in a player as a leader. I want someone that is going to ask questions and want to learn. Yeah. Also, people that are chatty are just engaging, and they're going to keep other people in your alliance engaged and playing the game because they're chatting with you. So you kind of need those type of people. So even if you're not a huge spender and your power is not that impressive, just your personality can get you into a big alliance. And sometimes just ask, go DM them and say, hey, can I join your alliance? I'm really willing to learn and I will put in tons of effort. Just give me a chance. If I'm not worth it, you can kick me out in a week.
Yeah, that's a good point too. And I know that a lot of alliances have alliance families. So even if you were wanting that top alliance, but you can't get there yet, you could start at one of their other branches and kind of work your way up and be part of the family from the bottom.
Absolutely. So for tip number 5, I strongly urge everyone to donate in your alliance as much as possible. The donation button, I have a lot of players that just are kind of, they feel like they should hoard all of their stuff, that if they donate too much, they're wasting their res. It's super important to donate because you get alliance funds that you can use for those crucial high price items in the alliance store. Mainly ports, shields, and your talent switches. You won't use those right off the bat, but you will use them later. And it's better to start trying to get them as you're along the way. The shields, of course, the ports you will use right off the bat, but the talent switches, those are so crucial later on. And alliance donating is the best way to get those because they are pricey items if you have to buy one on the fly. Also, just donating not only gives you funds, but it gives the alliance the funds necessary to get tech. And the alliance tech is what really boosts your stats up and can make a huge difference in a battle, is your alliance tech.
Yeah, that's a great one because so many people like me today, I had like no wood. I have my gatherers out, I'm farming the wood, but I just don't have enough. And then, you know, whatever the tech was that they wanted the donation for, it was for wood. And I'm like, how do I donate that? So I could totally see people saying, I don't have enough to give up because I want to still be able to train or do some research. But good points. You get more rewards from giving those donations and by hoarding them. So, yeah.
Yeah, to add to your point there is, you know, there's a recommended. You get more alliance funds for donating to the recommended. But if you don't have that wood, still donate. You can pick another tech to donate to that might use another type of res that you have in abundance. So even if it's not optimal, the choicest, the most, you know, the one that the alliance leader chose, you can still donate
in another area and still get those rewards.
Yes, absolutely.
Good
Don't
point.
pass that up.
That's actually one I didn't even think of myself. So great one.
Tip number 6 goes along with my tip number 2, which was to be chatty and ask questions in state chat. But once you get into an alliance, ask questions and engage in your alliance chat. The biggest helpful thing you can do is to understand battle mechanics. And the way to do that is to ask questions. You're going to have, if you get into a big alliance or even a smaller one, you're going to have someone in there that is experienced in a game in an older state. Asking questions like, why do I not send infantry into a trap? What does his tier level mean? Those types of questions are crucial to understanding the game and moving forward in it. And the easiest way to do it is just to ask. I mean, just bombard your AC and your leaders with questions all the time. My alliance, I am constantly sending out alliance mail telling them, if you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you don't know what a leader is asking you to do, please, please, please ask. I would rather you do that than make a mistake and then me boot you out because you won't listen. I would much prefer you to ask questions. So definitely engage in your AC chat. And if you have the chance or the option, get Discord. Most alliances have Discord now, and that's an ideal way to ask questions, get screenshots. There's tons of guides in all of our alliance Discords, videos like, our videos that we make. You can find so much information by just engaging with your alliance and the community in general.
Yeah, totally true. The game has depth, and it takes a long time to learn the depth, and you learn it quickly or more quickly when you talk to some of your friends in the alliance. So another good tip.
Tip number 7 would be Intel, Explorer, and missions. Do all of those things. Your Intel is just, you have to do that every day. Every time it opens up, do your Intel, do your Explorer trails. It's huge because you get frags, you get resources, you get skills books to upgrade your hero skills, you get your chief XP, which in my opinion is the most important part of this, is getting your chief experience up. Just do them all. The daily missions, the daily building missions, all of those are super important. And yes, you're going to have days that you can't get to all of them, but if you can possibly try to get the majority of your intel done, that's going to be huge for that first 2 to 3 weeks of beginning growth, because that's where you get your heavy influx of your fragments that are going to level up your heroes.
Well, I've already made a mistake because I've been ignoring my intel and just trying to get resources. Mistake number 1, I'm guilty.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's something that if I don't do anything else in the game, I donate and I do my intel. Now, I used to be really bad about not doing my explorer missions or the explorer trail. They can get kind of boring. But now I've gotten to the point where I will pop them on and do them because, you use bread. The stamina points are the bread for those, and you don't really use it anywhere else in the game. So I have tons of that energy. Mm-hmm. So I'll just pop them on while I'm cooking and hit it auto and just let my stuff start rolling in. So it's a really good way to get extra res too, especially if you're let's say you're in war and or a kill event, and farming is not very a smart decision. Yeah. Because it's dangerous. You can do the explorer missions and the intel missions to get your res coming in. So definitely key.
Yeah, good point. What do you have for tip number 8?
So tip number 8 is don't waste. I have so many people that yell and yell and yell about hoarding. I'm not a big hoarder. I'm one of those, if it's in my pocket, I'm going to spend it kind of gals. But I have learned through this game especially that everything that you have in your bag, every item has an optimal time to use it. So find out the optimal time to use your items, especially for events. If you are new to the game, check out to the top right. You have a box up there that has all of the events that are upcoming. And almost all the time there's an event that you can use items for, like speed ups, training troop speed ups, everything you can use for those events, and those events give you rewards. So anytime you're about to use an item, take a moment, look at the events, see what you could use those items for, and save them to use them then. You want to maximize your benefit from using everything in the game. It's all about maximizing what you have. If you're unsure, ask your alliance. Yeah. When should I use this stuff? When should I pop these speed ups or this? And they'll tell me, trust me, they know. They'll let you know when to use them.
Yep, and that's the sole reason for that is example, a speed up type event, you're going to get extra rewards for using more speed up. So why use them when you're not getting rewards when you could hold off for the event and get the extra rewards on top of it? So that's just a smart play.
Yeah, exactly. And there's even, people have even broken this down to just a specific science, even with something that I wasn't aware of till recently was the Chief X EXP, the Chief Experience. That's so important to use because you have your talent points off of that. So that's something I always immediately pop because I want to get to those talent points. However, you could even not hoard them, but save them just a little bit so that when you pop those Chief Experience points, you get a stamina refresh. So if there's a hunter event that you need a lot of stamina, you wait until right before that, then pop your Chief XP after you use your stamina to get more. There's such a good method to all of this madness. So the best way to do it is to ask your alliance. Truly ask them.
Again, because there's just so much to know and so much to learn. All right, T McV, give us tip number 9.
Tip number 9 is a quick tip, but it's a very valuable tip. It's check your market. You know, there's a building called the market, and we're still a little bit confused about when we're going to be able to do things like trading market resources between players and stuff. And so some people are like, the market doesn't have a whole lot of use. I check it every day because if you check the market, there's your VIP store, other store, then there's the market. And there is ports. Alliance ports are in there, especially you new states. See, we didn't have this in our old states, but in the new states, Alliance ports are in there or teleports are in there all the time. Advanced teleports are really expensive, and they're really hard to just save up caps when you want to spend it on other things. They're really hard to get. So check your market, and they usually post them for resources. So like today, I got 2 teleports for 2 mil iron, and then I think I got them for 1 mil gas. Now, yes, gas and iron are hard to come by, but it's farming. It's free. It's, just be doing it and gathering and checking your market. You can really get some good finds on the marketplace. So check it every day.
Yeah, and that's like especially a great tip for free-to-play players and people that aren't looking to spend any money.
Okay, so tip number 10 is a BioCap tip. So I get asked a lot as leader in a beginning state, what do I spend my BioCaps on? What do I use these for? Do I hoard them? What do I do with them? So it depends really on whether you're a free-to-play or spender. Back to tip 1, what's your play style? If you are just a free-to-play player or a dolphin or just don't like to waste things, BioCaps are best spent on your VIP, which gives you tons of bonuses and buffs. Your VIP, and also I use them a lot for builder slot. I know that a lot of my players use them for that second builder slot. If you didn't buy the builder slot pack, you use it. I think it's 500 BioCaps every 2 days, and that's crucial to have that second builder going for you to really level up quickly. Or the one thing that I use BioCaps the most for is my settlement buffs. When you go into your settlement and you click on the buffs, all the events, like I said earlier, events have there's a use for everything. And so like the settlement buff for gathering, there's a gathering event. So you want to pop and use your BioCaps for a buff for gathering for that event. Or for construction, there's a construction buff. So I use my BioCaps on that. There are a couple of other things that you can use your BioCaps on that I think are worthy. Now, there's going to be lots of debate about this, but like Casino, it's a fun event. It'll come up. If you haven't seen it yet, it will come up. And it is a fun spinning roulette thing. It's expensive, but it's fun, and you get a lot of frags and you get a lot of points in that event for it. So I always like to have a little bit of BioCaps stored up handy for things like that not so much the smart decision, but the fun decision.
Yeah, and this is a game that you're supposed to be having fun in, so why not just, even if it's not the smartest decision, have a little bit of fun and play. Right. But guys, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that right now because we have daily mobile gaming videos, but also head on over to Reality Skewed Gamers. Check out some of the content. If you like what they have and you're interested in it, make sure you subscribe to their channel too. listen, those were 10 incredible tips. I learned a few things myself along the way too, but I guess before we start to close stuff out, I should ask you if there's anything that you've kind of forgotten along the way or small things that you want to mention before we can officially say that we've drained you of all your tips.
Well, we talked a lot of, all of our tips for beginner economics, a lot of those types of things. So I wanted to throw one final tip in there that's my personal style of play tip. Learn to protect yourself without a shield. We see so many people that go, come in and like, I'm getting attacked. What do? I don't have money for a shield. The best thing that you can do is to learn how to play the game without a crutch. And shields are very important. You're going to need them eventually. But if you can learn how to protect your base without using a shield, like sending out your troops, using your blast shelter appropriately, having your alliance mates that are reinforced or shielded, send your troops to them as a reinforcement, using ghost rallies. Those are all terms that you'll learn if you ask and engage and ask the questions that you need to. But those are all things that you can use without spending money, buying items for. You can just use your intelligence and your questions and your teammates to help you figure out how to protect yourself and your base strategically.
Yeah, well, you definitely just mentioned a few things that I have no idea what you're talking about, but that's because that wasn't a beginner tip. That was a little bit, that was like a 1 month in tip maybe. I have not yet been attacked by anything but zombies, so that's been like no big deal. So I guess, I don't know, I guess I'm just using some strategy without even knowing it because, I don't know, maybe I'm meant to play this game. But listen, Venom, it's been awesome having you on the channel today. So now, I mean, not that you haven't spoken enough, but why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do on Twitch and on YouTube, so if anyone is still here, because we know that we have a family here that makes it until the end, maybe they can find you in other places and check you out.
Thank you. Well, my channel is called Reality Skewed Gamers. I work with a bunch of awesome gamers. We play a variety of games, anywhere from PC games to console games to a lot of mobile games. We just enjoy gaming, and we enjoy the community that we have built. We enjoy meeting new people like Echo and new streamers and content creators, because gaming is what brings us all together and makes us have fun. So Reality Skewed Gamers, we're both basically a bunch of adults that play like kids and enjoy it. And we would love to have any of you come and check out our channel, and we'll all hang out and have a great time. We stream on Twitch. Usually every day of the week. We are on YouTube every day of the week, so come and check us out.
Well, I'll tell you, a few things sound fun. One, hanging out with you guys on your channel and on Twitch sounds fun, but also being in your alliance sounds really fun too. I know that I'll never be able to get in there, but I don't even think I can. I'm in like a new city, and you're in an old city. Is that even possible?
Well, yeah, you can actually, well, no, you can't jump after headquarters. I think it's 6, you can't jump states, but if you go to your accounts, you can actually make alts very quickly and join a new state. This game is beautiful for the way that you can switch. You can switch accounts and really just have multiple accounts in different kingdoms. I don't have the patience to have too many, but I do have 2 accounts, one in 125 and one in 359, which is the one I just started to get the new state mechanics down, and I'm having a blast meeting people there. So join us if you want. 359.
359, that's where it is. I can't go. I'm level 16, I think, right now. I've pushed myself too far, and I don't want to start an alt. I have no time for that. At least not right now. But
it's very time consuming, yeah.
It totally is, and more than one is just double the time. But guys, I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot here today, and I hope that you guys did too. If you made it this far, hashtag made it in the comments section, and make sure, my challenge to you is to go head over to Reality Skewed Gamers and say what's up to them on one of their latest videos or one of their State of Survival videos. I'll be linking them in the description and in a card at the end of the video. If I remember, I will try my best to remember, but if not, guys, make sure you go show some Echo love over there. But Venom, thank you so much for coming down today and sharing all this knowledge with us.
Thank you, Echo. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Thank you. And guys, we're out of here for today. Make sure you check out these videos and other stuff below. Have a great day and be good.